Hey there, today I'm going to be giving you a quick market update for the greater Seattle area for November of 2022. If you're looking for the most up-to-date information regarding what is going on in the real estate market here locally, then stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hey there, I'm Jordan Reeder, your Seattle area real estate agent, and every week I drop content about everything that you need to know about living in or moving to the greater Seattle area. All right, so today, if you might have noticed, it is December. I tried to make my light red in the background and I'm wearing a green shirt, so Merry Christmas if you're watching this. But since we have a little lag in the data each month, I'm gonna be going over the real estate market data for November of 2022 in King County. So did home prices go up? Did they go down? Did they stay the same? Let's jump into the data and find out. All right, so the first number we're gonna look at is percentage of list price. So when somebody lists a home on the MLS, this stat is gonna show what percentage of that list price they are actually getting. So as a reminder, in a normal healthy market, you should be looking at somewhere in that mid to high 90% range. So in King County, we'll notice that the percentage to list priced for single family homes in November of 2022 was 97.9%. Now for a little reference, 1 year ago today was 105.4%, which are crazy numbers. So back a year ago, you could get 105% of the list price, which is showing all those bidding wars going on. And right now, if you put it on the market, you could expect to get 97.9% if you decided to list it and if it was priced right. Now, the good news is it's starting to level off here. We peaked, it looks like, in April, May, and it started to head down quite a bit. So it is still trending downward. However, you'll notice that it is starting to flatten here a little bit in October and November, which is nice to see. All right, now for condos, that percentage to list price in November of 2022, you'll see was 98%, which is down from 101.4% the same time last year. Seeing the same effect, it's starting to level off here, getting about 98% of its list price. So you see those numbers are decreasing from that of last year, which means that sellers can expect to get less when they go to sell their house, but make no mistake, they are still extremely healthy numbers. All right, so the next number we're gonna look at is months of inventory, and that simply means that if no other inventory hit the market today, how long would it take for all of the inventory on the MLS to be sold off? So in a normal, balanced, healthy market, you're looking in that 4 to 6 month range. So for King County in November of 2022, for single family homes, we are looking at 1.5 months of inventory. And for reference, the same time last year, we were at, look at this, 0.3 months of inventory. That's right, 0.3 months, which is absolute craziness. So the last few months have been pretty steady, which is good. However, you have noticed that starting in even January and even before that, inventory has started to creep up. So if you were a buyer right now, you'd have a lot more inventory to look at and to buy than you would have back in the same time in 2021. All right, now for condos in November of 2022, we're sitting at 1.7 months of inventory. The same time last year, we were at 0.7 months. So you're looking at a difference of about a month of inventory here for condos in King County. So the takeaway is this: inventory has been increasing since rates have started to rise earlier this year, but not to astronomical levels. I've been talking about this for months now. If you watch any of my other videos, remember this is still a very healthy range. And it's still a seller's market, believe it or not, because of the low inventory levels. 1.5 months is way higher than 0.3, but it still is skewed toward the seller. All right, so now let's go over the days on market before sale, and that is when a home hits the MLS. How long does it take to go under contract? In a balanced, healthy market, here in Seattle, you're looking at about 30 days is a good number to use. For King County, the days on market before sale in November for single family homes is 29 days, and that is up from 13 days the same time last year. But again, these last few months, you're not seeing any crazy increases. But for the most part, you know, we're creeping up, but not in any dramatic fashion. All right, and for condos in King County, the days on market before sale in November was 31 days, and that was up from 20 days, which was the number back in November of 2021. So again, we're slowly creeping up here, but nothing drastic is happening right now, but you do want to keep your eye on how many days it's going to be on the market before you can expect a sale. So the days on market are slowly creeping up. This is actually to be expected. as more and more inventory hits the market. All right, so now the big question is, what are home prices doing here in King County? So let's check out the median sales price for single family homes and condos. So the median sales price for single family homes in King County for November of 2022, and it's a little hard to see here, but it's $825,000. Now the same time last year, it was just below that, it was $820,000. So again, no huge price drops, although if you were to look at it from the peak, we are down from 1.0015 million all the way down to 825,000, which is a pretty good amount of a drop. But that is over a 6 or 7 month period. My hope moving forward is that we will see some level of resistance here toward this 2021 level. So next month, December, as well as January, will be pretty telling. If we go below those numbers, then we'll have to kind of reevaluate where we are and where we think the housing prices are headed. All right, so now we're looking at condos. The median sales price for November of 2022 was $465,000. And again, the median sales price the same time last year was also $465,000. So basically retreated back to those 2021 price points. For condos, the peak was in March of 2022, and it retreated all the way back down to the 2021 levels. Same as single family housing prices. I want to see some resistance here at the 2021 housing price levels. And so hopefully we can kind of see a tick up from here, and we can remain steady over the next 4 to 6 months. But only time will tell. We'll keep bringing you this data each and every month. So will home prices keep dropping? And if so, when will they stop? The first thing I look at is obviously trends, right? And home prices are trending downward right now, as you saw from that median home price data. Home prices in King County topped out in May of this year and have been retreating back to that 2021 levels ever since. So the second thing that I do is I fill in the gaps with what is happening on an economic level. So we look at what the Fed is doing on a monthly basis. We'll also look at what interest rates are doing each and every week, which will help us understand where the market is headed. But for right now, prices are declining, not crashing. There's a huge difference. So housing prices are simply following economic trends as they have been since all of us have been alive, right? So remember that. The next thing I'm looking at is what will bring buyers back into the fold and when, because without demand, we don't have a strong market. If the demand from buyers is there, supply will inevitably be created. So if you want to know where the market is headed in the future, follow the buyers. All right, and that's a perfect segue into arguably the most important data point to look at, and that is home inventory levels. So again, this is basic supply and demand economics. So what we're looking at here is how many houses and condos were on the market in November, and is that number increasing or decreasing? You can tell a lot about what's going on just from the inventory levels. As I said earlier, supply and demand is what makes a market, so it's important to look at. So looking at single family houses in King County for November of 2022, there were 2,735 homes for sale on the MLS, and that is up from 795 single family homes for sale the same time last year. Now let's look at the last few months and we can get a better picture as to what the supply looks like recently. You'll notice that supply has come down actually quite a bit from September through November, but if you look at it from January all the way up, it's creeped from 496 all the way up to its highest at 3,744. So from a trend standpoint, it is increasing, but it is nice to actually see inventory levels coming back below that trend line. We'll see what September and January has in store for us in the next couple months. All right, and now condos in King County for November of 2022, there were 917 condos that were for sale on the MLS. That's up from 519 condos for sale at the same time last year in 2021. But again, let's look at these last few months to see what inventory has been doing, which again, this is the supply side of the picture. So the other factors that we went over earlier shows the demand side of the picture. You'll notice that it is retreating back to that 2021 inventory levels. Not nearly 279 condos like it was back in January of 2022, but it is nice to see a tick down below the trend line here. We'll see what December and January and even February and into the spring has and what kind of effect that has moving forward. So the key takeaway here, supply is up, demand is slower of course, and it's so interest rate driven these days. Keep an eye on mortgage rates and what they're doing on a weekly basis, as they could change how the market reacts almost daily. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you are looking to move to the greater Seattle area and would like to discuss what this information means for you and your situation, I'm gonna leave my contact information right here, so feel free to call, email, or text me anytime. You can also click on the links below in the description to schedule a free call with me or to download my free guide, Guiding People in Seattle from One Home to the Next Using the Move Up Method. It's a great resource, so be sure to check that out. All right, and now that you know all the numbers and what's going on in the market here in Seattle in November of 2022, be sure to watch this video next where I'm going to show you the 5 mistakes that I see buyers making today and how you can avoid them. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.